Hey, all the Chang here. Let's talk about the Advantage Arms Eat Anything mod. For those of you who've seen my Glock 44 comparison video with the Advantage Arms 22 conversion kit, you know that I've spoken about the modifications that I first heard about many years ago when I bought one of the first Advantage Arms kits on the market. And over at Glock Talk, there was a post that talked about the Eat Anything mod, in quotes here. And it was a bunch of polishing, fluffing, and buffing of different parts that would help the Advantage Arms kit really function with any brand ammo that you put into it. So I've had a couple of requests from people looking at the Glock 44 video. They've asked about the Eat Anything mod for the Advantage Arms kit. So I'm going to go through the different pieces that you want to polish to help your gun, your Advantage Arms kit run a little bit more reliably. So we're not going to need the frame. As you can see here, I did the 50-cent polishing job here with all of this stuff, locking block, all that. So we're not really concerned about that. What we're really concerned about is the slide, the conversion slide itself. So one of the things that you're going to need to do is actually drive out this pin. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it once. Drive out this pin. There is a spring behind the extractor. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the extractor itself has actually been polished. You see how it's a shinier surface from the factory that's black. So we want to get all that surfaces in here. There's some friction here, excess friction. If you polish that up, that reduces the friction. Also, this striker safety here, notice how it's all bright and shiny. Now, direct from the factory, it's going to be a duller gray. I'm going to want to polish that up as well. You don't have to polish the rib here. That's really all you would need to do in terms of these two parts. Now, when we're polishing, don't get lazy and use a Dremel. For most people, using a Dremel, they take off too much material. So what I would do is be patient and use some Mother's Mag wheel polish and a paper towel and actually sit there, watch TV or do whatever and actually work those parts by hand. All you really want is a nice, shiny, slick coating. You do not want to actually take it too far like a Dremel would do and start removing material. Now, I am going to disassemble the slide. Disassemble's fairly the same as a stock Glock slide. You do need to use your punch tool here and push down on that sleeve right here. So on the striker, you're going to actually polish up the striker so it actually moves a little bit better. Don't have to do anything about this. Don't have to do anything with the recoil spring assembly. You do have to do some stuff with the barrel. Now notice the barrel here for me here's pretty shiny. I actually decided to do the entire thing, but friction points, all right? Friction points here. So the top of the slide, right here, this area, the hood, where it slides back and forth, you're gonna wanna get that pretty shiny. Along the inside, this part here, you can see all the wear marks that I have here. There's thousands upon thousands of rounds on this conversion unit. I used to teach all my lessons for my beginners with this unit. So all of those witness marks here, right? If you wanted to get a little bit motivated, you would go ahead and start with some polishing here, but I'd just let the natural wear and tear of the slide and its carrier moving back and forth polish that up. All right, now we have this little carrier here, and that carrier actually sits, I don't know if the camera's focusing, but it actually sits right in there, right? And it slides basically back and forth, and this little portion here sits on the barrel, sits in here, and this slides back and forth, all right? So there is friction there. So we want to go ahead and take this entire thing and go ahead and polish that up. And that should make it slick. Now, when we reassemble this, we do want a tiny bit of lubricant. You do not want to over lube this because any of that dirty 22 residue is basically going to put mud inside that area right there. We definitely don't want that. When you clean your Advantage Arms kit too, detail clean it, you want to get like gun scrubber in there and actually blow it out, and then take some of your trusty canned air and blow that out as well. So you saw with the lubricant there, I'm just using a little ballistol. I'm just getting my fingers on here and just getting a little bit of a slick coating on there, and then going ahead and reinstalling that piece. All right, so once that's in, I'm going to want to go ahead, and you see there's witness marks here. I want this as slick as I possibly can, so I know the slide's going to have friction right there. I know the slide's going to have friction across the top, and then at these wear marks, or these witness marks. So I'll go ahead and get the barrel fed back through. I'm going to make sure that the barrel actually sits inside the carrier. Now I'm going to just move that carrier around, make sure there's plenty of lubrication there. All right. Nothing to do with the recoil spring assembly here. I do want to make sure I have a decent amount of lubrication in the slide channels, but again, not too much, as I don't want any of the residue to actually go ahead and gum up the action. So there you go. Like I said, I highly recommend you doing this by hand and not using a Dremel, but I'm not the boss of you. You do what you want. Just make sure you don't take off too much material. So hopefully this helped. If you found this interesting and helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Love to have you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, and go ahead and click that bell icon that's over there on the right to be notified of any new content that we might post. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and we'll see you out on the range.